My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me and that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask you for pardon for my sins and for the grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Jesus, here we are in the season of Easter, and our hearts are filled with joy. We go to Mass and we see the Paschal candle lit, and just seeing that light shine fills our hearts with joy. We see it and it's as if we sing within, Alleluia, Jesus is risen, Jesus is alive. Jesus, you're alive for me. You're alive to accompany me, to strengthen me, to console me, to bring me out of my own tombs, to let my own wounds be glorified. The Paschal candle in the church is such a sign of hope. Maybe we can make a little resolution in this Easter season. In seeing that candle, Jesus, let me proclaim my faith in you, my new trust, my new hope in you. And so as part of this Easter season, we begin today the 6th chapter of St. John. We'll work through John chapter 6 over the coming days. And this first section that we're given in the church's lectionary covers the feeding of the 5,000. That amazing moment, Jesus, where many, many, many people had gathered, and there wasn't much food. And you ask your disciple, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with all these people? How are we going to get food for all of them? You ask Philip that question. And we can sense a kind of mischief in your voice. Jesus, and we thank you for that. We thank you that you can be playful with us, a bit mischievous with us. Sometimes I take myself too seriously, Lord. I ask you to joke with me sometimes in my prayer. You say, where can we get some food, Philip, for all these people? Philip responds with the eyes of the world, the mind of the world. Well, it's going to cost a lot of money, and where would we go to get all this food? It's impossible. I was reading in the news here in Great Britain recently that our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, said that there is in Great Britain an anti-maths mindset. A mindset that says, I'm not interested in mathematics. The Prime Minister was making the point that he thinks that's affecting our economy. Okay, it's a political point. We don't need to worry too much about that in our prayer. But for the purpose of our prayer, Jesus, it's a fascinating phrase, an anti-maths mindset. I think that's what Philip had as well. And Jesus, I think it's what I have. Maybe it's true of you, my brother or my sister, as we're praying together today. Maybe you as well have an anti-maths mindset. We think of the situations that we're in our life by worldly standards. I've got this much money, or I've got this much time, this much energy, this much maybe talent, and it's up to me to make it last. It's up to me to figure out what's going to happen. And Jesus, it can be easy to forget going to you to entrust that small thing, the smallness of our time or energy or whatever, to entrust it to you and say, you take it, Jesus. You take it and do with it whatever you want. We just make a calculation in our head that's so human. And we are humans, so that's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to use our reason, our intellect, our memory, our will, all these faculties that you've given us, Lord. It's good to use them and to be pragmatic and practical about things. But St. Josemaria reminds us in the way that, 2 + 2 = 4, he says. It's true. And this is the calculation we get when we just go on the human means. But let's not forget, he says, that we have to add into that calculation 2 + 2 + God Wow, now we're into a figure that can't be calculated. 2 plus 2 plus God. Yeah, someone was talking to me very recently about um, multiplication of sleep, not having many hours available and being tired. Someone was saying to me, well, pray for the multiplication of sleep. Like the multiplication of loaves, pray that your sleep is enlarged. With just a few hours, or it feels like, oh Lord, how am I going to get rest tonight? I've done many things, and I'm very tired, and I need to be up again early tomorrow for another day of work. How am I going to rest? Well, Lord, you're the master. You're the master into whose hands I can place my loaves, my fish, and say, it's not much, but I give it to you. Notice in the gospel, it's a little boy who gives you the loaves and fish, Jesus. And me personally, I think to myself, it could only ever have been a little child who did that. Because a little child wouldn't recognize that 5 loaves and 2 fish is not very helpful in human terms when trying to feed 5,000 people. But a child isn't concerned with the complications that we put on ourselves and say, no way that's going to work. No, the child just says, well, I'll give them to Jesus. Because Jesus will know what to do. Jesus will make it work. This will be enough when it's in Jesus' hands. Is my faith as real as that little boy? Is my faith as pure? Do I have faith in Jesus to be the one that in whose hands everything's fine? Jesus, in your hands everything's fine. Then I say to you, I've only got 6 hours to sleep. Let's say, for example, I've only got 6 hours and I'm exhausted. Jesus, in your hands, I'll be fine. Lord, I've only got 30 minutes to pray today, and I feel like I've got so many things that I need resolving, so many pieces of work that need doing. These minutes feel so small compared with the things that are on my mind. Well, Jesus, in your hands, it's enough. Maybe it's money. Jesus, I don't have enough money to make ends meet. Things seem too tight right now. Family concerns may be pressing on me. Wow. Well, there it's a big act of faith. But we say it today. Jesus, in your hands, this will be okay. The key being that I entrust it to you. This was the lesson that the boy teaches us. If I only go about it my own way and say, well, the Lord will just have to work something out. No. That's not what he said. He held it out. He stretched out his hands and said, take this that I have and use it for your will. Use it for a great miracle. This is an amazing act of faith. So we don't want to have an anti-maths mindset. Instead, we want to love maths. Jesus, we want to love the maths that involves your name, Jesus. God saves. God is present to his people. God with us. And the Lord wants to take our just small things and make them enough. So we give you our hearts today, Jesus, because they're pretty small too. I give you my heart, which doesn't feel capable of love. But when it's in your hands, then your love, infinite love, the infinite love of God will course through me. Everything, when I place it into your hands, takes on an infinite value. And so we do so today. We do so through the heart of our Mother Mary. Mary, how many times you must have seen the small expectations of those around Jesus, his disciples, the people who followed him, and so many times you must have seen the surprise on their faces when they realized Jesus transformed it. Jesus transformed me. All I had to do was place it in his hands. Jesus, give us the courage, through our mother's prayers, to do just that today. I give you thanks, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations you've communicated to me in this meditation. I ask you for help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.